Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're gonna be talking about Stalker 2 and why is this such a big deal for the franchise and why is this such a big deal for the community, especially the OG Stalker community. Because keep in mind, when Stalker 2 was announced, there was a lot of new people who came to the channel asking like, what is this game? I've never heard about this. What is gonna be actually in this game? Where is the first part? And why does this look like a Metro mod? Yeah, there was even that. So today I'm gonna be explaining some of the things regarding Stalker and why is this such a big deal and why I love this game so much or why I love this franchise so much. And there's a few reasons for it. First off, when you're talking about the Metro looking like Metro angle, you have to realize that in the past, when GSC Game World was going through some trouble, you had a lot of core developers from Stalker games actually leave the company and form their own studios or get employed somewhere else. One of those studios was actually 4A Games, which made Metro franchise. So in itself, it's understandable why those two games look and play similar, but at the same time, they're really not similar games or not the same games, especially from the lore perspective or just the entire gameplay perspective. Because you have to keep in mind, I've been playing Stalker since when it initially came out, and I was very young when I played it for the first time. Keep in mind, of course, the game was extremely difficult for me at that time. I didn't realize half the things I was doing, but somehow I managed to finish those games. So when you think about Stalker, you have to think about atmosphere, and Stalker is one of those games that does atmosphere and immersion in a very perfect way. As soon as you get into this game, you don't have to have anomaly mod or some crazy graphical mods. Even if you go into a vanilla Stalker experience, which is definitely something else, which I recommend going into a vanilla Stalker if you're getting into this before jumping into different mods. Of course, the graphics are not going to be the greatest, but as soon as you go into that game and you start exploring and you start going throughout the world, even though the graphics are not the best, the atmosphere never fails to disappoint because the zone you're playing it feels alive. And one of those things can be given to their AI system, which they actually implemented into their game, which allows for different monsters and beasts and humans, bandits, different factions to roam around the zone and change positions and have their own tasks, which you don't really have in video games back at that time. So that means that some camps throughout the zone are going to be attacked by different factions, they're going to be attacked by different monsters, beasts, and also you're going to see monsters fighting other monsters at the same time as you're roaming around. So every single time you go out to explore in Stalker games, it's going to be essentially different because some of the positions are going to change. Some of the positions you actually appear in the beginning of the game is also going to change as the time progresses. Now, of course, all of that can be distinguished if you're playing modded Stalker or if you're playing the vanilla one, because keep in mind the modded Stalkers kind of take that and elevate that to like even bigger heights, where they just add more people into the game, add more factions, or they just have more people roaming around, which makes the game a little bit more tough if you ask me. Then at the same time you had different anomalies scattered around the map. So when you're walking somewhere, you also have to think about that, because as soon as you step into an anomaly, you're going to die, especially in higher difficulty. So that's also an angle that they had in the game. That at the same time, you had emissions in the game. Emissions happen every now and then, and usually in the game, if you're caught outside and you don't hide during an emission, that's going to be instant death for you. So as you're playing the game, there is this dose of fear that you have an anxiety, because you never really know when is that emission or blowout going to hit. So this means you have to take your steps very carefully, you know where to hide, which enemies to fight, and so on. So on that sense, like, the game was very realistic. But keep in mind, vanilla Stalker games are more story oriented than, for example, Anomaly or other mods, which focus a lot more on gameplay, meaning like changing how your weapons work, adding different things for survival, and so on. And on top of that, putting various reshade packs, which makes the game like, look, this is the heavily modded anomaly experience I'm in, and you can see like from the animations and everything, like the game looks amazing. It looks nothing as vanilla looks. So of course you're gonna have a lot of people today play anomaly just because you have different options and possibilities to play around, even having like some of the vanilla experience in a nutshell that you can go through. But at the same time, there is also another thing. You have to realize that OG fans have been waiting for Stalker 2 for a very long time. At the same time, we actually thought that we're never getting Stalker because 10-11 years ago we actually learned that Stalker 2 development has been cancelled and the studio is basically going to close its doors. And for the longest of times we thought that Stalker as a franchise is pretty much dead and it's never going to return. So of course when we saw like the logo of Stalker 2, even then I had some reservations, thinking like, is this really coming out? But when they actually revealed it on that Xbox conference, when there was that first trailer, when it came out, I was like, oh man, this is definitely it. And this is the first time they're also changing the engine from X-Ray Engine to Unreal Engine 5, so it's understandable because X-Ray Engine was great for modding, but at the same time it is very unstable. If you just try to play Stalker Vanilla, you're going to have some issues, you're going to have some crashes, so prepare for that. And at the same time, like, this is going to be an upgraded, enhanced version of Stalker, where you're going to have like the latest fidelity and graphics, which they want to go for. Keep in mind, in those trailers, that's not the final look, that's a look they're gonna be going for, and until we get some proper gameplay, I'm not going to say how is it exactly going to look like. But obviously at the same time, when you're utilizing Unreal Engine 5, you have a lot more capabilities than you had before, especially when it comes to foliage and vegetation, various effects which can go throughout the zone itself, going from those emissions, going from rain to storms and everything, especially because we've seen a few gameplay sequences how potentially it can look, and honestly it just blew my mind how insane the game can look right now, going from the original versions, which were also to this day very atmospheric and something that you're never going to experience in any game whatsoever. And this is also going to be the first time that you're going to have Stalker on a console. So automatically you open up a new market of people who have never played the game before, and it's gonna be interesting to see how they go through it and how they adapt overall. But if there is also another thing which makes me happy, is that the modding community is going to be active once again, because I don't know if you know, but modding community for Stalker is on par with like Bethesda and everything else. The amount of crazy mods and the amount of talent you have in the Stalker community is absolutely amazing. Going from everything they've made so far, going from Anomaly, like everything here is mod. So it looks insane. Like modders here created totally new different games, totally new different experiences, and that's something which I'm also looking forward to when it comes to Stalker 2. And I'm very happy the developers decided to push the mods forward, and they, you know, said that yeah, we're gonna include mods, don't worry, we're gonna think about modding support. And that's also like one of the pillars of the Stalker community, and I'm very excited to see if anyone's gonna be making Anomaly 2 in Stalker 2, especially in Unreal Engine 5, which is going to be nuts overall. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal, honestly, because, you know, we never thought this was going to happen. We never thought Stalker is going to come out. Now obviously GSC Game World has been going through a lot of issues in their country with the, you know, war and everything, so it's tough, man, it's tough. So I'm very surprised that the game is actually coming out in 2023. Luckily they've moved their production development somewhere else, so now they can work in peace and just continue to develop the game. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Even if it doesn't come out in 2023, we can wait, because we've been waiting for ages. And we've never thought that this game is going to see the light of day. And that's why it's so important for every single Stalker fan out there. Now, of course, a lot of us are worried how the game is going to look like, and is it going to be glitchy or buggy, because previous Stalker games were having issues with that. And, you know, you have people who can withstand that, you have people who don't really care much about it, who are not going to play those games, but at the same time, working in Unreal Engine 5 is definitely going to help. It doesn't magically make the game optimized and run great, but at the same time, you're gonna have a more stable engine and more versatile engine for it, which yeah, we'll see how it's gonna be happening. So that's why what I think about Stalker so far, and maybe this kind of brought people a little closer to what this franchise is and why is it so important and why a lot of people like it a lot. And I cannot wait to see a lot of new people jump into the zone, especially going through anomalies. That's going to be so fun to look at. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following the channel. I'm very sorry for not uploading. I was busy with other work stuff, but now I'm back. I'm on a vacation for a whole month so I can focus on making videos and just live stream a lot. So this is l.k.e.r signing out. Stay classy, everyone, and tell me down below if you played Stalker, what is your favorite thing about this game, and if you never played Stalker, what do you think about this? And I definitely recommend playing it. So this is l.k.e.r, as I said, signing out. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button for more. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Discord, and as always, huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. See you next time. Bye bye.